Hi, I'm Justin Riley. Coming up today on Wisconsin Doctors, retirement living and how that differs from assisted living. We'll be on location at the Terrace Heights Retirement Community, which is owned and operated by Mile Bluff Medical Center right here in Mauston, to find out more. And my guests will include Katie Nuttall. She's going to talk to us and give us a little bit of an overview of what people can expect here at Terrace Heights Retirement Community. Plus, Sherry Hansen, who is the director of Terrace Heights, will join us, and she'll talk to us about what to consider for retired folks who are thinking of making the move to an apartment. We'll also talk with one of the tenants, Carol McDonald. She's going to talk to us a little bit about some of the services that are provided here at Terrace Heights and the services that she uses. Plus, licensed athletic trainer Jason Nuttall will join us and talk to us a little bit about some of the fitness and exercise classes that are offered here twice a week at Terrace Heights Retirement Community. That's all coming up right here on Wisconsin Doctors. Stay right here. And welcome back to Wisconsin Doctors, and we're here on location at the Terrace Heights Retirement Community, which is owned and operated by a Mile Bluff Medical Center here in Mauston. And I'm joined now by communications specialist Katie Nuttall. Welcome.
Hello.
Thanks for having us here, I should say. So tell us a little bit about what it means for this facility to be considered a retirement community.
Well, it's a retirement community because you have to be 62 years or older to live here. It's a community because between the activities and the friends you meet, there is an atmosphere of community that is created here in the facility. And it's just really great.
So it's not just something where people kind of just are all doing their own thing. There's a lot of gathering, a lot of community activities that are happening.
You can certainly do your own thing if you want to as well.
Sure, you have that option. You're not forced to do anything.
Right,
That's great.
Exactly.
So Katie, some of the things that you discussed on what Terrace Heights is, can you tell us what Terrace Heights is not?
Terrace Heights is not an assisted living facility, and it's not a nursing home. So usually with nursing homes and assisted living, you have some level of skilled nursing care provided. Here at Terrace Heights, it really is just an apartment complex for people 62 or older. So we don't provide any sort of medical care here. We are really conveniently located next to Mile Bluff Clinic and Mile Bluff Medical Center, but no one comes in-house to do anything. So here you're just doing your own thing.
So the only prerequisite is being 62 years of age or older.
Correct.
Okay. And so you don't get visits then from Mile Bluff. The folks who live here would have to go there, which is just right down the road. Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very cool.
Can you tell viewers about the Terrace Heights facility itself?
Sure. Terrace Heights was built in 1992, and it has been beautifully maintained ever since. We are nestled right in the bluffs of Mauston. So in the fall, in the next couple weeks, we'll have some beautiful fall colors right behind the facility. It's really great. We're conveniently 20 minutes from Wisconsin Dells, so if you have some entertainment or going out to some restaurants, it's certainly close by, and the facility is about an hour from La Crosse and Madison, both directions.
Yeah, so it's very, very well located and obviously very close to the hospital, so you've got medical care just right next door, literally. And if you want some great entertainment destinations, go check out Wisconsin Dells, too. Yeah.
Now, Katie, if somebody wants to see Terrace Heights, how do they go about doing that?
Well, if you are able to, I would suggest that you call Sherry, our housing manager here, and set up a one-on-one tour. It's a great way to see the facility firsthand and kind of get the whole experience. If that's not possible, you certainly can check out our website, www.milebluff.com, to check out the Terrace Heights page and see a virtual tour. That kind of features some pictures of what the facility can offer and kind of just gives you an idea of what you can expect here at Terrace Heights. Also on the website, we have floor plans of the different units that we have. Terrace Heights has 32 apartments made up of 1 and 2 bedroom units. So you can kind of see some examples of that. And there's also some information about what basic services they provide here at the facility, as well as some of the amenities you can come to expect.
And do you know, I mean, is there a waiting list to get in here? Is it pretty easy to get into? I mean, do you have to apply when you're 52 to get in at 62?
I guess I would default to Sherry to that one.
Okay, well, we'll talk to her in a little bit. Well, we got to take a short break here. We'll be right back here at the Terrace Heights Retirement Community, part of Mile Bluff Medical Center here in Mauston. It's Wisconsin Doctors on CW57. Hey folks, welcome back to Wisconsin Doctors. We're here on location at the Terrace Heights Retirement Community, which is owned and operated by Mile Bluff Medical Center right here in Mauston. In fact, it's right next door to Mile Bluff Medical Center here in Mauston. And next we'll be talking with Sherry Hansen, who is the director of the Terrace Heights Retirement Community. Sherry, thank you for having us here today.
You're very welcome. Glad you could come.
Yeah, we're glad to be here. And this is your opportunity to put the big plug forward. If someone were to ask you why they should choose Terrace Heights over any other apartment complex, what would you say?
Well, every apartment complex, no matter what it is, has some similarities. There are, apartment different sizes and different rooms usually adjacent. But a retirement community, one of the biggest reasons people want to come here is because people are about the same age. They have the same interests. They can go very close at hand across the hall or wherever they want to and run into people that have the same interests. And that is a real big reason just to have that company. A lot of people are lonely in their own homes. The other reason is Terrace Heights offers just an amazing amount of common areas for that type of gathering. So we have a beautiful dining area where we do serve some optional meals for people. We also have an aviary. The birds are a very soothing, interesting area to be able to just sit and watch the birds. We also have a beautiful sunroom as well as a lovely screened-in porch where you can enjoy Wisconsin summers without the bugs.
Right.
The bugs are not usually wanted.
Right.
We have a library in our upper level that is another beautiful room where the tenants can just enjoy books, borrow them, bring them back. Puzzles are done there. So we have some common areas, our exercise room and a game room. So we have a lot of common areas that I think are way above most apartment buildings.
Absolutely, and I have to say that this is way nicer than any apartment I've ever lived in, so I'm counting down the days till I turn 62 so I can move in here.
A lot of family members will tell me that they'd rather move in when they're looking for their parents.
Right, yeah.
As a director, what do you hear the tenants say most that they appreciate the most about living here?
I'd go back to just being able to be social with people. A lot of things that I hear from the community, the members that come in and just talk, are they get lonely all by themselves in their homes. Some are really not able to get out. They either don't drive anymore, it may be difficult for them to walk. They don't have close neighbors to be able to enjoy things with. So I think just being able to have someone to go get a cup of coffee with in our dining room, or to do puzzles with, or maybe to get involved. We have a lot of entertainment in our dining area. So that entertainment is really a draw, and it's a big reason for people to just gather. And they didn't have to do anything. They just have to come out of their apartment.
That's very nice, very nice.
Okay, Sherry, what would you tell a senior who is looking to move to an apartment?
I usually like them to at least look around. I highly recommend that they go and tour and look at other places. A personal tour here is what I really like to be able to give, because our facility is just so beautiful, and we do offer so many options that it is really a nice thing to just come and see for themselves the space. A lot of people coming from their homes are afraid they're not going to be able to bring anything. They're afraid they can't bring their own furniture, the things that mean the most to them. And really, we have a lot of space in a one-bedroom or a two-bedroom apartment. Plus, we do offer some storage areas that are outside of the apartment. So they don't have to feel like they're giving up anything, that they're adding to their life, really.
Sure, they can bring their lives with them, really.
They can,
Yeah.
they can.
Yeah.
For viewers out there who want to encourage their parents to move from their house to an apartment, do you have tips on how to start the conversation?
It's a great question.
It is a really good question, and I get asked that question quite often. The thing that I have families look for are their safety. Is mom and dad safe in their home anymore? Do they need to have some guidance, some help maybe with cleaning? Are they eating properly? Because we do offer meals here, and we do offer housekeeping. So a lot of times they're just simply paying to live at home, and then they're also isolated. So I ask them about the safety more than anything.
Safety, and then also I think that social element is huge because
It is very
you know,
big.
that keeps brains active and everything like
Yes.
that. So, Sherry Hansen, thank you so much for the info
You're
today.
so very welcome.
We got to take a short break, but we'll be right back here at the Terrace Heights Retirement Community, part of Mile Bluff Medical Center. It's Wisconsin Doctors on CW57. And welcome back to Wisconsin Doctors. We're here on location at the Terrace Heights Retirement Community, owned and operated by Mile Bluff Medical Center right here in Mauston. And we've heard from a couple of folks who work here at Mile Bluff and at the retirement community. But now I'm so excited to be talking with Carol McDonald, who is a tenant here at Terrace Heights. Carol, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing us into your space, I should say. So talk to us a little bit about how long you've lived here and when you made the move, or I guess what led you to make the move?
Well, I've been here for 12 years now. I originally came from this area and always had the idea that I would move back someday. So when the time came that I started to think about it, my sister-in-law suggested that I check out Terrace Heights. I had no idea what it was all about.
Right.
But we came down one day and Sherry showed us through the building, and that did it. I've never looked anyplace else.
You were sold on the first trip.
I was sold, yes.
Wow, that's a pretty strong testament for sure.
But I didn't move in right away.
Yeah.
Sherry called me about every 3 months for how many years?
Years, okay. Well,
But
And that's a little typical, that
Yeah.
some people just take a while. And also, a lot of people have leases that they
Yeah.
need to
Sure.
finish before they can
Right.
make the move.
but that's great because then you get a chance to build relationships before you move in, which is kind of nice too. People calling you on the phone. and
that was
stuff.
how I got here.
Yeah.
All right. What do you appreciate the most about living at Terrace Heights?
Well, I like the bus for one thing because I can be independent. I don't have to depend on somebody to take me to the grocery store or the bank or any place else. That is one of the biggest things here. And
So that bus goes into town then and allows you to do
yes.
grocery shopping and
Yes.
things like that.
And Carol's taken a lot of our trips
Yeah.
with us other than Mauston.
yes.
Okay.
So we do offer trips to other towns, neighboring towns like Toma or
Sure.
Wisconsin Dells, Baraboo. And Carol's been on the bus often with a lot of those trips. So it's a convenience. And one day a month we go somewhere like Madison or Milwaukee or Appleton, somewhere in the state.
Sure.
And Carol's done a lot of that as well.
That's very cool. Very cool.
You said you've used the bus, but have you used any of the other services that that Terrace Heights offers?
Well, I like the different entertainment that we have here.
The in-house entertainment.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And
What's your favorite? Talk to us about some of the different examples of
oh,
entertainment. they've
I
got.
like the singers.
You've got singers that come in.
Yes,
Wow.
those especially. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So like little mini concerts, is that
We
kind of
do.
what?
We put on some mini concerts. We have people from around the state again who I've been using for many years. But we have some local people which have been great. We have a harpist that is a local talent, and we get her in a couple of times a year. Yesterday, we had some local individuals who do medical missionary trips, and they did a wonderful job in telling us about their latest medical missionary trip. And they come almost every time they've done a trip.
Sure.
And that has helped fill up some time, give us some education. We've also been able to rely on Mile Bluff because we can bring in some of their experts.
Yeah.
With their health promotion department. We can have them come in and actually talk to us about real health concerns that all of the tenants have. So we try to stay busy and active and allow the tenants to pick and choose what they want us to show them too.
A lot of things available here, right? You just have to walk down the hall, it sounds like.
Yes, even the exercise classes.
Yes, yes, very
wonderful.
much.
Come down the elevator and you're here.
Yeah, yeah, and in the wintertime, that's really convenient.
Yes.
As you
Very
said.
convenient.
It's hard to get outside, I think.
And I know Carol has a lot of family and friends in the area. That was one of her big draws to come back. What do you tell any of them, Carol, about Terrace Heights?
Well, that I like it. They all realize that. And they think it's a great place.
It's been convenient for
It's
them.
very convenient, yes.
And they obviously see that you're happy when they come here to visit, and this is a lively place. I mean, really, honestly, when we walked in this morning, I was impressed by the huge, beautifully decorated dining hall. It's very, very nice.
It is
Very
nice. Thank you.
So we're glad that you're happy, and I think that's a testament to what all the other tenants are thinking as well. So, Carol McDonald, tenant here at the Terrace Heights Retirement Community, thank you so much for the information today. We'll be right back with more Wisconsin Doctors. Stick around. And welcome back to Wisconsin Doctors. We've been on location at the Terrace Heights Retirement Community, owned and operated by Mile Bluff Medical Center right here in Mauston. And I'm joined now by Jason Null, who is a licensed athletic trainer. Jason, welcome. Okay. So, a lot of folks, when they hear licensed athletic trainer, they assume that you're somebody who works exclusively with athletes, but that's not true.
It's not true. Actually, I work with a wide variety of what I call athletes. And an athlete is typically thought of as a high school or a professional athlete.
Yeah.
But really, athletes can be anything from middle school to occupational employees or older people. And I work with the wide variety of them.
Broad spectrum of different folks. And you can that's interesting that you consider them all to be athletes at some level.
And at some level, somebody's always going to get hurt.
Sure.
We're always trying to prevent injuries. And we're also assessing them and trying to rehab them to get them better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you talk more about the exercise classes you hold at Terrace Heights?
Our exercise classes are open to everybody. And anybody that lives here can come down. And I have a chair open every day. I put an extra chair out just for whoever might walk in the door.
Sure.
I adapt exercises to whoever needs adaptations. If they have a hip injury and they can't do something, make sure that they don't do that.
Right.
Because I don't want to injure them.
So you're aware of when people are coming in, like what their adaptations that they need for the types of exercises that they're doing.
And if they all of a sudden come in and say, I hurt my shoulder over the weekend,
right,
I can adapt, and say, maybe you shouldn't do this today.
Yeah.
And we can work on some other things that will help them.
Sure.
Whether they think they are going to or not.
Right. So are these things pretty well attended? Are these classes pretty well attended?
Yes, we usually have probably about 10 people, 8 to 10 people a day. And
That's not
they're
bad.
twice a week.
Sure.
And everybody knows at 9 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday, they come down and have fun with me.
Yeah. Come down and get ripped with Jason. Right?
It's fun for me,
Right.
not necessarily for everybody else.
And it's also something that I always talk about on tours.
Right.
I'm always talking up the exercise program because it's important at every age. But Jason, what in particular is important about the exercise class for all of our seniors here?
Well, as we age, we tend to lose strength if we stop exercising. And if we lose our strength, we lose balance and stability. And a big problem is then we end up falling. And falls are a huge problem for older people. So what we do in the exercise class is we work on strengthening, we work on balance, and I take you through the whole gamut of how to prevent tripping hazards. And every once in a while, it's like I do an educational component and say, this is why we're doing this, so that people understand why we are doing this particular exercise.
I think it helps if you, sort of market yourself in a way that's like, these are the exercises that we do, and this is why we do them. I think that can kind of click with some folks, as falling becomes more of a risk for them as well.
For instance, if we're going through marching, just lifting our feet up, sure. I make sure I tell them keep your toes up to prevent from tripping.
Yeah.
So if you're going over a curb, you keep your toes up so you don't trip on the curb.
Right.
Every once in a while, we'll bring that point up, and oh yeah, that's what I should be doing.
I just learned something today. I'll trip a little bit less than I normally do.
I hope so.
Thank you for this
practical
free
use.
Do you have any tips for someone with physical or age physical limitations because of injury or age?
Well, the first thing, if you're starting an exercise program, I recommend getting evaluated by a doctor to make sure you're physically able to do it. The next thing is work with a professional that is licensed and trained to work with older people, because working with older people typically is a little different than working with a younger population, and they have different concerns, and you want to have somebody work with you that is comfortable with those adaptations that they need to make.
Right. Yeah, and there are certainly adaptations that need to be made for any age level, but just knowing what those are for
different populations.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously, folks at Mile Bluff, as yourself, you work with a little bit. You work with the community as well.
Correct.
At large. What are some ways that community members can utilize some of the services that are offered here in Mile Bluff in terms of exercise?
Well, at Mile Bluff, we offer community-based exercise classes as well as our Terrace Heights exercise class. And some of those are Tai Chi. We do offer wet and well activities, which are pool-based activities. We also offer personalized fitness, and we also have a very very comprehensive rehab services department with physical therapy, occupational therapy, massage, and all those activities, or all those services as well. If you need to get a hold of anybody to schedule any of those things, just call the rehab department and we can get you set up for those.
So people can call you, and then they can. Is that like a class that they take? Some of those
Yep.
things. Okay, so they can call you and get signed up for those classes.
And we'll give you more information.
Sure.
About any of those.
Excellent. How long have you been doing this now? How long have you been involved with not just Mile Bluff, but in physical therapy or athletic training in general?
I've been an athletic trainer now for 10 years, and I've been at Mile Bluff for 9 of those years.
Okay. So it must be a great place for you to stick around. Stick around for most of your career.
It's great because I get to work with a lot of different people.
You get to work with Carol.
I do get to work with Carol.
And Carol's very faithful,
There
coming
you go.
down to exercise
She is
class.
one of the ones that always comes.
Yeah.
And we do
And
try
I'll
to
show
promote
up
that.
tomorrow.
Well, Jason Nuttall, thank you so much for joining us today. It was great to
Thank
have
you
you.
for having me.
Jason Nuttall is a licensed athletic trainer at Mile Bluff Medical Center and teaches class 2 days a week at the Terrace Heights Retirement Community. Thanks so much for joining us again. I also want to thank all my guests. I want to thank Katie Nuttall, Sherry Hansen, and Carol McDonald. We've been here on location at the Terrace Heights Retirement Community, which is owned and operated by Mile Bluff Medical Center right here in Mauston. From all of us here at Wisconsin Doctors and CW57, we invite you to live longer, live better. We'll see you next time.